Should we begin? Okay, assume any seated position that feels good. We'll start with a little breath. You can have your legs straight out, or you can cross them, or whatever you want to do is fine. If you do have trouble doing a cross-legged position and getting straight up, grab your blanket, and why don't we just all do it, just so you can feel the difference in your body. So grab your blanket and then kind of make it into a little seat like that. There you go. Fold it up as that allows your hips to drop down a little bit at an angle, and that should make it easier to sit a little bit more upright. Yeah. Takes the torque off of the hip. Exactly. Yeah. Okay, now that we're all kind of somewhat some version of this. Okay. I'm imagining that little magic trick where you whip out the tablecloth and okay, all right. So let's settle into, you might close your eyes if that feels okay. And then bring your attention to how your diaphragm is moving when you breathe. When you breathe in, can you feel movement in your lower rib cage, soft spots in the front, maybe even a little bit of movement in the back, the lower back. Can you let your shoulders drop down a little farther away from your ears? Open that space up. Can you let go of any tension in your thighs? Let your hips sort of soften down into this position. All right, then go ahead and open your eyes. We're going to take our left hand, put it on the ground next to you, and then the right hand's going to go straight up, reaching up toward the ceiling. Let the left shoulder be soft. The right is reaching up. Think about the bottom of the right ribs also reaching up along with the hand. So as the right ribs move up, it creates more space between the bottom of the ribs and your hip bone. And we'll bring that arm back down. We'll put that right hand down on the ground. And then the left hand's going to go reach up and then add the ribs with it, as if you're trying to almost lift your body with your arm. Okay, let's bring that back down. Okay, the right hand's going to go back up, reach toward the ceiling, and then reach over the ear. And then let's come up and the right hand down on the mat, left up, and then over the ear. And then back up. Okay, think about your right ribs rotating to the right. So if you're trying to look behind you, let your arms soften, land wherever feels comfortable for them to land. Let go of any tension in your hips and just rotate as if you're trying to look behind you. Just feel what that end range feels like. And then let's go the other way. And then back forward. Okay, let's take our little lift out from underneath us. And we're gonna shift onto your left hip. So your left hip and your hand are both on your mat. That's gonna face most of you guys. Let's do the right side first. Right hip, right hand. Sorry, I want you, most of you facing this way because these guys probably haven't done a sexy pose yet. You're in for a treat. Okay, so you're kind of on the right hip. Pam turns so she can watch. Okay, so right hand and right hip are on the mat. Okay, the right leg, the lower leg, is going to stretch long. Good. Okay, and then the left leg can stay bent, and it can stay behind that leg or come in front. And what I want you to think about trying with your body is just sort of rotating forward and rotating back, rolling on your hip. So, yep. And there you go. Then, yeah, eh, it's like a really hard game of Twister. Okay. And then the other hand can land in front, it can land in back. We're just trying to create more space between the armpit and the top of the hip. So this is where I want you to target that stretch. And then take some long, slow, deep breaths. Okay, and let's slowly come out of this pose. We're gonna go over the other side. Just swing your legs over. Okay, so we've got the left hip, the left hand on the ground. The left leg is gonna stretch out straight. The top knee, it can stay where it is behind the leg, or it can bring it in front of the leg. Wherever you keep that foot, just think about rolling the top hip forward and backward. See where you get the best, yummiest stretch between the ribs and the hip. What's that? I did say yummy. You heard it. You heard it correctly. It feels so good to me. Okay, ease up. If it's not yummy, ease back a little bit. You never associate a good stretch with yummy? Give me a word. I'll give you some time to think about it. Just got a heavy sigh. A good stretch could be a heavy sigh. Okay, let's come back up. Okay. Let's take the knees up a little bit like so. Now think about your knees dropping to the right. So you guys will go that way and then spread them out. This is the Z sit. You guys are learning a whole new scenario. We did the easy chair stuff. You guys have graduated to the next level here. Okay, there, good, 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 good. Okay, now think about just sort of settling in. This is probably not a position you get your hips in on a regular basis. So we've got different kinds of rotation in the hips going on right now. So just giving your time some time to try and sit up as upright as you can. Okay, now I want you do this one before you get up in the morning. Twisting. Yeah, it's a good time to do it. You get to do this, man. Okay, now I want you to think about rotating your ribs to the right. So you guys will go that way. And then bringing the hands either to the knee or to the ground beside you so that you're getting this deeper hip compression plus some rotation in the spine. And this will often pull a little bit more around the right hip. So it's a great way to get a little deeper into the hip. That's a little more accessible to people than things like the pigeon pose. Also a yummy one, but yummy, yummy, yummy. I got love in my tummy. Yeah. Yep. I had that. I had that little record when I was a kid. Hmm. Groovy. Apologize to the at-home people that only get half of the conversation. Uh, Okay, we're not going to go into more reclined position today. Let's come back up. We're going to bring the feet back forward. And then this little back and forth we call windshield wiper movement. Just kind of gets the fluids flowing again after being in a prolonged pose. Okay, now we're going to which way did we go? This way. We're gonna go left. Drop to the left and then bring the legs apart from each other. And just bring the body as upright as it will comfortably go. We don't want any pain. Try to relax through your shoulders, relax through your hips. Okay. And we'll rotate to the left. Bring the hand either to the knee or all the way onto the mat. Couple nice, long, slow breaths. Using the breath to push into the twist from the inside out. Maybe that's what we'll do in the future, Pam. We'll just mic everybody up. So or just Pam. Risky. All right, let's come back up. Okay, we're going to bring our blanket here because we're going to go onto our knees. And let's pull our blocks in front. And the blanket's just for a little cushion for your knees. Most of us in this room probably appreciate a little extra cushion for the knees. Okay, so find your right leg. We're going to stretch the right leg out. Now, if you have socks on, well, why don't you guys, let's have you turn on your mat like Pam is, so you're long ways, so that we keep the feet on the mat. Especially if you have socks on. I don't want anybody to slip and pull a groin. There you go. Jim, you and Pam can gaze into each other's eyes here today. Okay. All right, you've got your non-skitties on, so you can do that. Okay. All right, so right leg is stretched out. And then if everybody's got their blocks, okay, we're gonna push the bottom back. So you're pushing the tailbone behind you until you feel a nice stretch on the inner thigh. And you can let the blocks take a little bit of your weight so you're not working too hard to hold yourself in the pose. This pose is less about strength and more about stretching a place that just doesn't get a lot of stretch. And most of us could really use it. Take a couple more breaths. Give this stretch a little bit of time. And now this won't be a big movement. Stay where you are, but I want you to think about the tip of your tailbone. And I want you to try to point that tailbone a little bit more to the left. And just see how that kicks up the stretch a little bit in the right leg. Couple more nice long breaths. All right, let's come upright, a little more upright. We're going to take that outstretched leg and we're going to put it into a 90-degree position here. So I want you to think about really trying to point the toes toward the short end of the mat. And then if that knee is drifting inward, try to stack it back up. And then you can use your blocks in any way that help you, but we're going to lean into this. What? Just where's your cramp? Where's your cramp? Oh, in your hamstring? Okay, it's in your supporting leg. I'm like, I don't know what's happening right now. We just had a cramp issue here, folks, online folks. We're all okay. It's okay. Everyone's okay. We're as good as we're gonna get, right? Exactly. Yep, you're shifting your weight into, into that leg. And that just is like a whole different pull on the inner thigh on that side. A little bit different compression into the right hip. And we get a teeny bit of inner thigh on the left leg. Okay, let's come back up out of that. We're going to stretch that leg long one more time. Push the hips back and then point the tailbone to the left, to the bent knee side. So we're getting deeper into that inner thigh space. All right, let's come on out. Okay, if you want to take a little mini break and sit back on your heels a little bit. I know that's not something everybody can do, but just sit back as far as you want to sit back. All right. Said mini break, so let's come back up. Stretch the left out. Okay, move just a little bit. We'll stretch that leg out. We'll send the tailbone back. Okay, we'll just sink into that. Find the just right stretch. Remember, the stretch should not have any pain in it. Just sort of starting to nudge into that tension. Oh. Mm. Mm-hmm. Okay, now that we've stretched through there a little bit, Bring your attention to your tailbone, and this time you want to point it to the right. Just a teeny tiny bit. Couple more deep breaths. Okay, and we'll come back up. We'll soften this leg, bring it into a 90-degree position. Okay, toes pointing toward the end of the mat. Stack the knee up over the ankle, and then we'll slowly kind of sink in whatever depth feels comfortable for you. Compressing the hip, compressing the knee, compressing the ankle. Did you say that's not yummy? Okay, no pain, no pain. Doesn't have to be yum, but there's definitely no pain. Okay, let's slowly come back up. And we'll stretch that leg out again. Tailbone back and to the right. You do look like you're playing Twister over there, you two. Oh, we did too. We played it all the time. Oh, yeah. I wonder if my grandkids have played Twister. They're old enough they would dig it. Yeah. Kid bodies. All right, let's slowly come out. We'll take another little break here. Good stretch. All right, we're gonna turn long ways. You probably want to come maybe about a little, so you have a little more than half of your mat in front of you, because we're gonna step forward this time. There you go. All right, let's start with the right foot's gonna take a long step forward. What is with you two? Long step forward. Okay, use your blocks however you want to use them. And then we're just gonna lean into that long step. And our target is sort of the front of this leg. We're also getting some good compression stretches on the other side. And then just use your arms to support yourself. You don't want to sink so far into that it's ouchy. So use your arm, strengthen your arm. Ouchie is a good one. Okay, okay. I don't know. Maybe I've been hanging out with my grandkids too much. Is that possible? With the ouchies and the yummies? Okay. Something else to think about if you want to add to this pose a little is really lifting the chest and even the chin just a teeny bit. And you'll probably feel a little bit of increased stretch in the front of your left thigh. Okay. When we come out, I want you to think about pushing through your right foot and your hands, not using the strength around your hips. We want that to stay nice and loose. We're going to leave that foot up there, and we're going to send the hips back. So we're going to stretch the back side of that leg. Good. We'll hold this for about 3 more breaths. Again, no pain, no ouchies, just a nice stretch. Okay, we're gonna go forward again. So plant the foot, but come upright first. Okay, this time I want everybody to think about the hips. I want you to think about pointing the tailbone back, and then I want you to think about pointing the tailbone down and forward. And I want you to hold it there and then sink down into it. And you'll notice you can't go nearly as far with the hip in that direction, so it really isolates the tissues on the front of the hip. And the fascia, particularly in the front of the hip, is really important for walking. It helps to snap that leg back through, so it's less muscular effort. And it makes walking more efficient. As we age, we start to lose that nice, efficient, long stride. We want to be able to maintain enough, a longer stride length as long as we can. All right, then let's come back. Okay, we're gonna do one more on this side. We're gonna bring the foot into a 90 position, or it's slightly smaller. We're gonna walk the blocks forward and we're gonna compress that ankle. So the heel can come up off the ground, and then compress the knee, compress the ankle, compress the hip. You're doing great. Wherever they feel helpful and supportive. Okay, if you want to get a little next level, Lori, I'm looking at you. Tuck the toe, lift the knee. Yep, straighten the leg and lift the knee. Yeah, that's it. That's my girl. Oh, we got a foot cramp. All right, good job, you guys. Okay, let's let that back down. Let's push back with the hands. And then let's bring that leg in and just give ourselves a little rest. Okay, see if I can remember all that on the left side. Okay, long step forward. I always find the most interesting resting positions. Okay, so we're just gonna let the hips be however they want to be, as you should be. Okay, just sink down, let the hips, whatever position they are in. Soften through the shoulders. There you go, soften. Then think about the chest coming up, the chin coming up. Okay, as you come out, use the hands and the front foot. Okay, we're just gonna leave the foot there, shift back and elongate through the hamstring area. A really good series to do when you're hanging out watching some TV or something. What are you watching? Oh, I haven't seen that. Must be a good one. Oh gosh. Okay. Hmm. Netflix? Okay. Okay, let's plant the foot back down. Okay, this time we're gonna tuck the hips under and then move forward. A lot less movement, a lot of pull. Mhm. Push back. We're gonna bring this foot into 90 or smaller angle. And walk the blocks out and compress. Really feel the compression in the ankle, the knee, the hip. And if you want to tuck the toes under in the back and straighten that leg and lift the knee, that adds a nice, I'm getting a little bit of inner thigh, a little bit of quad stretch with that addition. And then let's let all of that go and we'll walk it back. Okay. All right, we're going to put the blocks a little bit behind us. So let's come up on tall knees again. Let's do one at a time to start with. Let's not get crazy. Okay, so left hand block, tall position. We're going to lean back. And then if you can also bring the right hand up and a little bit over. You're doing it. You're doing great. Yeah, that looks good. Yep. We're just kind of doing a half camel. Okay, let's come forward, lift up as you come out of it. Okay, right hand back, left hand up and over. Right, and I think we'll skip full. All right, so that can go to the side. We're gonna go down to our tummies. You can go all the way flat if you need to. Take a moment in a flat position or on your elbows to just let your back accommodate to this position. If you're not doing some tummy time every now and then, it would be a great thing to add to your routine once in a while, either on a bed or on a couch, on the floor. Your spine needs extension to be healthy as well. Please don't drool on my blanket, Pam. Okay, let's come back down to our chest on the ground. We're going to bring the palms beside the ribs. Bring the shoulders down away from the ears. We're going to inhale and then press up. And then slowly back down. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times. Press up, just as far as feels comfortable. Doesn't have to be very far. And back down. And press up. And back down. Good. All right, we're gonna come up on the elbows. Curl the toes under. Go into this very slowly, please. Okay, the elbows should be back closer to the rib cage. If they're really far forward like this, bring them back. Okay, toes are curled under. We're gonna slowly lift the hips off the ground. Just enough you could pull some paper out or farther, and then back down. Good. Well, and everything that goes with them that's connected to them. Okay, let me be more precise in my language. We're gonna bring the hips and the thighs up off and the knees, Pam. Thought maybe your knees are already off because your toes are tucked, but okay. Just off and back down. And it doesn't have to be very far. Just engage those muscles first and then lift and then back down. And then lift and back down and lift and back down. Okay, let's go back into a resting position. Let everything soften and just wiggle your hips back and forth a little bit. If you haven't done much extension in your spine like that, you want to make sure you soften. So it's not a common exercise, but definitely something we should be doing. Okay, let's come up on the elbows again. This time, let's walk the elbows to the right. So we're keeping the hips planted on the mat. So we're lengthening from the hip to the ribs. Okay, let's come back to the center and then walk to the left. All right, and we're gonna walk back forward. We're gonna use our elbows to walk ourselves back into a child's pose. Whatever version of that you can find yourself in. All right, we're gonna do one last feat of strength before we go into our relaxation pose. Okay, so hands are stretched out, fingers are spread wide, toes tuck under, and you can stay in knees on the ground if you like. Just shift your weight back. If you want to come up into down dog with me, knees come up and the hips go back. Yes, good. All right, slowly bring the knees to touch the mat. Cross the ankles, sit back, and stretch out and go down into your relaxation pose. Any way you can get down into your corpse pose is fine with me. All right. Knees can be up or knees can be straight, whatever feels best to you. Corpse pose is meant to allow your body a little bit of time to just really sink into that relaxed parasympathetic state. We spend so much of our day going, and we're doing our stretches. That can even be a little stressful. So allowing yourself a few minutes just to relax, feel the openness in your body, maybe you can even feel your heartbeat, feel the fluids moving, a little bit more openness. The goal of our practice is to keep the fluids moving, to move into spaces that we don't normally get into during a day, to keep those spaces hydrated, the nutrition coming in, the cellular waste going out. Our bodies are really made to have that kind of movement, to be healthy and stay healthy. So just show yourself a little bit of gratitude for everything that you did today. Thank your body for all of its capabilities, even though they may be changing. Giving yourself this time is to be commended. You're ahead of the curve. When you're ready, let's start finding our way up into any seated position that feels comfortable to you. You can roll onto one side, you could rock yourself up, whatever feels best to you. Seated, side sit, long sit, cross sit, kneel sit. Oh, again, online folks, my apologies for. Okay, let's do one more big breath. Palms together, hands to the heart, and wish each other namaste. Thank you so much. You guys are doing fantastic. Yeah, this was a whole new thing from what you've done before. Our newbies. Do you want the recording for this one? Okay, all right. I could absolutely download this and post it up.